What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for all of the comments. I hope you guys liked Burn. It was a lot of fun for me to put up. This is so weird talking in front of a camera. I don't even know what to do, but I'm gonna just give it my best, and I'm gonna try to answer all of your questions because y'all mean the world to me. And yeah, thank you so much. Amazing. I'm just gonna go from the top to the bottom. So it'll be the first one by William Wandall. I hope I said your name right. And then I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom. So it'll be in chronological order based on the time you commented. So if you want to just skip through and find yours and you commented later or in the middle, you can just kind of use that as a time frame. It's going to be incredibly unorganized. I'm not I'm not the organized sort of person, and I apologize for that, but I hope y'all can find your questions and I do a sufficient job answering. I'm going to do my best. So here we go from William Wandall. Have you ever wanted to do something else before you went into music, or was music your main goal in life? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I really ever saw myself doing anything else, which is why going to school and stuff when I was 19 and then working a job was just kind of like goofy. Yeah, no, I don't think I ever had any other visions. So, yeah, I don't even know what I'd want to do if I wasn't doing music. I've been so focused since I was young. So, yeah. Hi, from Lisa Age. Hi, Nathan. I miss you and Fire in the Wind about real persons. I can't stop wondering about that. I Miss You was Fire in the Wind. That was a fun kind of song me and my friend just kind of put together real quick. We ate a ton of nachos and then we were in a food coma and he's just like, let's write a song. And I was just exhausted and wanted to take a nap. So I was like, sure. And he just started writing words and then we came up with Fire in the Wind and it was a lot of fun. I Miss You. Yeah, that was definitely about a person. I don't know if I'm feeling vulnerable enough to kind of open up about, because it wasn't a romantic sort of thing. It's just like someone you're close to that feels super super far away. So for me, it was like a more of a yeah, it was less a romantic thing, more about just like a person you were close with who kind of drifted away. So yeah, I Miss You was Fire in the Wind. That was a fun song. From Sleepy Siren, what's your favorite movie? Also, do you like Jurassic Park? My favorite movie, I think Forrest Gump. I think Forrest Gump is a safe. Yeah, definitely. Jurassic Park. I saw Jurassic World. I don't think I ever saw the original Jurassic Parks. I love Chris Pratt, so Jurassic World was freaking beautiful, incredible. But yeah, I don't think I've seen the originals. I guess I have to. I know I've listened to the score. I think it's John Williams, and it's just mind blowing. So yeah, I'll definitely have to do that. From Nate Heskett, what instrument can you play? I do guitar, piano. I can fake drums. I don't know if I'm not actually like good, but I can definitely hold a beat and fake it. I can play bass if that counts, but I'm not a great bass player. My mains are just guitar and piano, and those are the ones I got. I think in piano, so I'll like write other parts for other instruments in my head using like a piano in my head, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm not really good at anything else. I'm not that not that cool. From Samantha McCoy, are there any other instruments you would like to learn how to play? Honestly, I'd love to learn so many, but I don't think I have. I'm not willing to put the time in as of like right now. But violin's like my favorite instrument in the universe. If you haven't noticed by the way my songs sound, and then cello and all the orchestral stuff, it's just absolutely mind blowing, incredible. So I definitely would love to learn one of those if I was going to learn something else. From Savannah Albrecht. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. I love you. I hope it doesn't. Yeah. Which of your songs are you proud of the most? I don't know. Honestly, all of them. It always changes. I've been putting up a bunch of new stuff, and yet it shifts. Lonely, I think, is like the best I've ever done, and that song means the world to me because I think it was the first time I truly opened up and was like, oh, hold up, I'm not perfect. Because for the longest time, I felt I wasn't like worthy of being loved if I wasn't performing and if I wasn't this perfect person. So I feel like Lonely really put myself. It helped me to understand myself, and as I've seen like the reaction, I've seen so many people have related and gotten. It's been a super beautiful, mind blowing process. So to see just how it's helped other people. So I'd say probably Lonely. I hope to outdo myself one day, but I'm thankful for now. From Spike, when did you discover that you had a passion for music? I don't even know, to be honest. That's a weird question. It was kind of like a slow fade, and you don't really notice it happening until you just. Yeah, it was a slow fade. I think when I was in sixth grade, we started a worship band in my church, and we were terrible, and we were all too embarrassed to sing, so we just didn't have a singer, and we did worship music at the church without a singer, so it was just kind of like weird, goofy, instrumental, and weird, super freaking terrible, but it was a ton of fun, and that helped me really. I think that was probably it. I remember there was a kid that played guitar in my grade back when I was in fifth grade, and he was like really popular, and I wasn't cool at all. So I was like, oh, I want to be like Matt Savino. So I learned to play guitar, and then yeah, ever since I've just been going after it. So I think probably the sixth grade band at my church was my original. Like I was like, oh, I actually really love this. This is amazing. From Izzy F. What do you mainly get inspiration from when writing music? Also, I love your music so much. Thank you. I love you so much. It always depends. Sometimes it's just a feeling. Sometimes it's a discipline. I force myself to sit down and just like write. And I don't always get so yeah. So it's not always an inspiration thing. I've been trying to really just learn the craft of writing, so that even if there's nothing, so I don't have to rely on inspiration. But yeah, everything's different. Like love, I remember I was watching an episode of Black Mirror, and I just got this like feeling, and I wrote about the feeling that I got, and like the all I want is to be loved. That line kept ringing in my head, so I just got inspired by a feeling that I had when watching a TV show. With Lonely, don't even remember what the inspiration was. I just kind of like wrote it, and I didn't really think about it, but it just kind of like came to me. And then with Innocence, it was like so many people had reached out, and there was like such a incredible, just like outpouring of love over like me, and I was just blown away, and it was like a paradigm shift, like versus I'm alone to like, oh hold up, people are gonna stick it out, people are gonna be here, and I won't run away, and yeah, it really depends. Yeah, it depends. Thank you for the question. That's from Pequin Naher. Oh no, this is from Pequin Naher. I don't know how to say her name. I'm really sorry. What's your biggest inspiration to write? What's your favorite song of the ones you've created? And what's the one song people would show a bit more love towards? My biggest inspiration to write, yeah, like I just said, it's always different. Maybe my faith. I spend a lot of time in like prayer, and I feel like my relationship with God has been the core of everything I've done, and probably sounds crazy to people who have a different perspective on faith or whatever, but yeah, I think my faith has been the core of pretty much everything I've done, and every time I've wanted to give up, I just go and I pray, and just come back to me. My favorite song of the ones I've created, I don't even know. It's always so different. I wrote a song called The Performer that's coming out this Friday, and I've been really obsessed with that one. I love Burn. I love how it goes crazy, and then the vocals that I hit. I love Sometimes Hearts Break and Man of Stone. Man of Stone, the second hit on the second halfway through the second chorus was like my favorite musical moment I think I've ever come up with, because it's just I don't know. I'm really proud of it. See, I don't even know what my favorite. I'm really sorry. Nevea maybe. Yeah, it changes every day. I'm sorry, I can't give you an answer. What's the song people would show a bit more love towards? I don't know. Maybe The Darkness doesn't get a whole lot of streams, but I'm really proud of it. I read it when it means a lot to me because of just it's always kind of been there with me as I went through life in the past few years, and I was finally able to get it onto paper or get it onto recording. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, that one was super beautiful to me, and I really love it. So, from Alexis Arts, how do you pour your heart out so well? Thank you. I don't know. I think I just try and get honest, and I try to just kind of like, I try to just not put a show on, just be honest about myself and not try and hide or wear a mask. And yeah, I don't know. I just do it and just scream. So yeah, thank you very much. From Felicia W. How do you know that music would be your career instead of a simple hobby or a side job? Also, did you explore the other career options? I'm guessing music is your full-time career, but correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, actually, music's become my full-time career. Like these past few months, it's kind of grown into an income that's been mind-blowing. I think this month was about $2,400, which isn't a lot, but I don't know. It's like growing and it's growing and it's growing, and I can see maybe in a year it can be even more, and I can just be a fully functioning adult living off music. So I thank you all so much, because that's crazy. I never believed this would happen. As far as like letting it be a career, not a hobby. I was going to school and I was working as a server for a while, and I went to California. If you've heard of Bethel Music, I went to the church that they're based out of, and a whole bunch of random people came up to me and were like, I feel like the devil's using fear to keep you from stepping into your destiny. And probably sounds great. These people didn't know me, but I felt like it was this spiritual kind of like moment and this eye-opening thing, like, shoot, I'm afraid of failing, so I haven't tried and pursued music after high school, because I did do The Beauty of This Life. I did an album, but it never really went anywhere. So I just figured, I probably won't make it, so I probably shouldn't even try, because I was afraid of failure. And I think that moment when I was at Bethel was really inspiring to me, and that was, I think that's what gave me the courage to kind of like quit my job, drop out of school, and just study. So yeah, as far as exploring other career options, I don't think I really did anything. I had a few offers to be a worship pastor for pretty good money, but I don't know. Working for the church is really difficult. I respect pastors more than anybody because I can't even imagine. It just seems like a really hard job. So I'm really thankful to be doing music. From Rain, what one of your songs are your favorite in regard to the emotion to you pushed into the song? Or for simpler wording, what songs of yours have the deepest meaning to you that really stick out? That's a tough one. They're also, I think Nevaeh for me was super, super powerful because I think I like thought of the people that went before me, and just the concept of like heaven and it being a joyful place. I thought was really, really beautiful and gave me hope for the people that, yeah, like my grandpa and my just like my friends who've passed, and just yeah, just the hope there is in heaven. Yeah, I don't really know though. All of them are different, more impactful to me in different seasons of life. It depends kind of what I'm going through. Um, Another question, for the background artwork of your music videos, do you have somebody make them for you, or do you make them, or do you find them somewhere? It's almost always just royalty-free art I find on the internet. I'm not that special. I'm not a gifted artist whatsoever. I tried doing Spotify art for like years, and it just looked so bad every time. So eventually I tapped out, and I just started doing black backgrounds with a font. Yeah, so I usually just go Pixabay or DeviantArt and reach out, or else I just got, what was it? I got Shutterstock. I paid for like 20 images or something, and it's super, super beautiful. So if y'all are an artist, I definitely recommend looking into that sort of thing because it's just royalty free and it's really, really beautiful. So thank you for the questions. From Neil Pabilonia, how to make a music and sing when I can only compose one but can't sing? I think you're saying, how do I make music and sing when I can only compose but not sing? You can find a singer. There's a ton of incredible talented people, and I'm sure. I thought I still think I'm a terrible singer, and I know I get all the affirmation of the universe, but I think everybody just always kind of hates their singing voice. I think it's really normal. So maybe just be bold and do it yourself. And yeah, I don't know. I know how I learned to sing. I just started recording myself, and I'd find the things that I hated, and then find the things that I liked. So I got rid of the things that I hated, and then I kept the things that I liked, and I just kept recording myself within. I had an iPad when I was in high school, and that was just kind of my strategy to getting good. So yeah, I don't know if you can compose. I say go for it. I bet you're amazing. From The Dream, what are your biggest insecurities? Do you believe you can overcome them? That's a tough question. That's a vulnerable question because I'm definitely insecure about a lot of things. Definitely like my physical appearance, which sounds weird, and it's like goofy. Like I'll look back at a photo from a week before and I'll be like, dang, I look good, but I can remember like obsessing over little things that night, like a acne or something, or just what I was wearing, and I'll just find something to hate about like the way I look, and just let it make me feel super like unconfident in a circumstance or something. I think it's called BDD, body dysmorphic disorder. And then there's a lot of social anxiety and fear of like hurting or other people feeling any sort of negative emotion, because I feel like I'm super empathetic, and I oftentimes take other people's emotions onto myself. So being in a big group of people can be incredibly draining for me. Yeah, I don't know. I was insecure for the longest time about being a musician. And it's funny, as I've started to make money and I've started to become, I don't want to say successful, but as it started to like work, I've felt less insecure about doing music because I don't feel like I have to, I don't know, because there's so many different things. I don't even know. I think I block it out in my brain because the way I'm wired is I'm kind of an achiever and I want to be perceived as someone special just naturally. And as I've grown more emotionally healthy, I've realized that's a terrible way to go about life. But I know my natural kind of mental, I'll like block out any sort of negatives about, or any sort of, yeah, I'll block out a lot of negatives or insecurities. So I don't really know. I'm like processing out loud. I don't even know what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm definitely insecure about the way I look. I'm insecure about like talking too much or maybe making like a bad impression. I don't know why I'm afraid of making a bad impression. So many different things, and do I believe I can overcome them? I think time makes perfect, and yeah, I've been doing so many different things to just try and fight against my anxiety, and depression has faded so much. I've changed my diet, and I started exercising a lot more, and yeah, my depression's gone, like it's dwindled so much, and it's actually really crazy. But as far as, I think anxiety is my biggest thing as of late. So yeah, I think one day I beat a lot of depression in this season. So I definitely believe I can overcome the anxiety and the insecurity. From Emily Winter, how do you get the depth and stuff to your songs, like the different levels of things you can pick out individually and whatnot? Is it difficult to do that? I don't even know, honestly. I'm just half the time I'm just trying to figure myself out because life is a mess and I have no idea who I am or what I'm doing. And I'll just kind of like write my thoughts and try and like trace back my behaviors with like events and just trying, because writing's clarity. I'm so scatterbrained all over the place. If you listen to this Q&A for more than 5 minutes, you've probably realized that. And writing makes things clear and concise, and when it's clear and concise, you can focus and actually do something proactive about kind of like, I guess, changing your behavior and a lot of my negative like patterns. So yeah, I just try and write about what I'm dealing with and write about my weird, just the way my brain operates, and try and just figure myself out, because you're a slave to what you don't know and I'm a slave to what I don't know. And if I have weird kind of like patterns and stuff, it doesn't sound like the best thing to be a slave to. So yeah, sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it just kind of flows. Like Lonely was, I think I wrote in like 30 minutes. Whereas a song like Dance All Night took me like 4 or 5 hours. Or I remember Kissing in the Rain when I was 16, I wrote that. That took me like 4 or 5 hours. So sometimes it's just a moment. Sometimes it takes a long, 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 long time. And yeah, thank you for the question. Mr. Donut Gamers, how do you do such great ambient sounds to put between your singing? Thank you. Honestly, it depends. I'll just use patches. I got this plugin for Logic. It's called Valhalla Shimmer. It sounds freaking beautiful. And then I have True Verb from Waves, and I use a preset called Millennium Verb, and it's amazing. So if you are looking to do ambient sort of stuff, I definitely recommend that, and just putting it over guitars and pianos and stuff. And I do want to do a lot more production videos. I've been so trying to get a song out a week or just content out every week, and I've been so busy, but I'd love to just give all of my secrets away, because there's no point of holding onto it. I want y'all to be successful, and just kind of, yeah, if you're pursuing production, I definitely love to just give it all away to you. So yeah, it's a lot of just different technical production things, and with drums, I use a lot of splice samples too. From letters that I don't know how to read, but I'm sure are awesome. I want to know, do you write your deep and touching lyrics because you had bad experiences, or is it the singer's imagination? I love. Yeah, I think it depends. Like, sometimes Hearts Break, that was about an experience, but like Man of Stone, that wasn't necessarily about a person, but it was about like kind of the way my brain operates. So it's every song's different. I'd say the majority of them are stories, and honest to like myself. As far as like Don't Forget Me, that was just kind of my imagination. I heard an Eminem song on Revival, the album that everybody hated. I forgot what it was, but it was like a remix of Every Breath You Take by The Police, and then he was just kind of like saying goodbye, like if I died, and he was singing to all the people that he loved, and I was like, that's actually a kind of cool concept for a song. So I wrote Don't Forget Me, and I recorded it like a year and a half ago, but I was afraid of being emotionally manipulative, and I wanted to be honest, so I didn't release it. And then I remember I was in Houston like 6-7 months ago, and I had this idea for like what if I just do it and then actually write music that was like going up into heaven and going up to perfect peace and perfect joy. And I felt at that point it meant something to me, because I'd had experiences that kind of led to that. I felt like it was a lot more honest, and it wasn't just me trying to manipulate people's emotions, because I want to be authentic and I want to be honest, and I don't like manipulation. It's not a good thing. So yeah, I did. So that was. I don't even know where I'm going, but I think it depends. A lot of them, the majority of them are about personal experiences, but some of them are just kind of like me trying to figure myself out. From Bella Lacco, how long does it take for you to write a song, and how do you come up with such beautifully simple yet so deep lines? Also, I want to use this chance to thank you for always replying back to my comments with beautiful words. It means a lot to you. Thank you so much for the question. You're a sweetheart. I'm happy I could talk to you. It's all different every song. Lonely was like a moment, and then Dance All Night took forever. Kissing in the Rain took forever. Man of Stone, I think, was maybe like 2 hours. So some of them are pretty quick. As far as like coming up with beautiful deep lines, that's really kind. Sometimes they're like, I'm afraid to love but afraid to be alone. That was a line I had in another song like previously, and I just kind of transferred it over to Lonely because I thought it worked really well. So sometimes they'll kind of stick with me for a long time, or else they'll just come to me on the spot, and I feel like blessed or whatever. But yeah, it's just I'm a super reflective person, and all I do is think about deep concepts and stuff, and that's basically my mental, what I'm doing 24/7 in my head. So it is kind of natural just to the person that I am. Thank you so much for the question. I appreciate you. From XEALZ. Zales? I don't know. I'm a little dyslexic, so I apologize if just all over the place with my reading. How come your music is so amazing? That's very kind. I don't know. I hope it's good. I have different days where I feel like it's awesome, and the next day I'm like, this is the worst thing I ever heard. So I appreciate you saying that. I'll hold on to it when I'm feeling like I'm the worst musician in the world. From Ashley Arnold, I love the song a lot. Really amazing with heart. How long does it take for you to make the video with the lyrics and an image and your voice into the video? Honestly, it's just gonna be forever, but as I've gotten better with iMovie, it's just been pretty quick. My fear is always that I have a weird grammatical error, so I always have people look over it. I know O Victoria in the Darkness video just put the O instead of OH, and that drives me crazy. So yeah, it's pretty quick. I think what prolongs it is the process of making sure there's no grammatical errors and stuff. But yeah, I think like Burn probably took me like half an hour to make. And I just had people look over it, and it was good. So thank you for the question. From I'm Wobbles, do you consciously try to do anything to make your music unique when producing songs? If so, please elaborate. Because there's something about your music that's unique, but I can't put my finger on it. Well, thank you. I don't know. I'm just kind of like I hear it in my head, or sometimes I'll just write in my brain, and then I'll just kind of put it down on the production platform. I don't think I ever try and do something weird or different. I just kind of do what I feel is appropriate for the song. And sometimes I'll have some fun and get a little crazy, but as far as like intentionally producing songs to sound different, I don't think that's it. I just kind of write what I'm feeling and write what I feel would work best. So yeah, I don't know. It's usually more intuitive to me, and it's not like I mentally process through it. From Bobby Lobby, are you doing YouTube singing full time, or do you have a side job? Yeah, it's actually become my full time job. Praise the Lord. Spotify and YouTube has really like started to pay off, and I'm absolutely blessed, and it's been amazing, and I'm so thankful. So no, I don't have a side job anymore. How did you develop that amazing voice you have? Thank you so much. It was a lot of like voice memos and recording myself, and then seeing just recording myself on an iPad. I'd listen to it was awful, and I'd get rid of it, and then I would listen to what I liked, and I'd kept it, and then I did more. So yeah, I think listening to I'm super sensitive, so having a voice teacher wasn't always the best thing. Just to be like, that was awful, and then I just feel sad for the next few days. And so self-reflection has always been my best way to learn, because I'm just probably way too oversensitive. And yeah, so that's how I did it. But yeah, definitely voice teachers and stuff. That's an amazing way to go about it. There's nothing you can't learn on YouTube and Google. I bought a ton of books just on like singing and music, and like Singing for Dummies I'm going through right now, and I'm always trying to learn and get better. So I think study is an amazing way to go about it. But yeah, that's basically my story. Skylight, what do you call your fan base? Do you have a Discord? Doing your server need your help? Your help with roles? I don't even know what I call my fan base. Just friends, my people, my family. I don't even know. I should probably think about that. I don't have a Discord. Discord kind of confuses me. I think I went on it once and I was confused and I never got back on. So that's probably something I should do. I'd love to talk to y'all and connect with y'all more. So I'm doing this Q&A. So yeah, maybe in the future, maybe I'll ask my brother, because I think he has Discord, and I'll see if he could help me set it up, because that'd be really cool. But I'm pretty clueless when it comes to it. And as far as a name for a fan base, y'all should leave a comment and tell me what you think it should be, because I'm not that creative. The Wagoners. No, that's not cool. I don't know. Let me know. Josh Cook, what's your favorite song that you've written? By the way, you're awesome. Love your music. Thank you very much. I think Lonely. Lonely is probably, and then Kiss Another Rain, because that has a really special meaning to me, like personally. It's about my friend who passed, and she was like the reason I kind of pursued music, because when she passed, I didn't know how to like kind of deal with it. And there's a lot of weird things that I went through, but I ended up investing a lot of my time into music after that, and I think I owe her like everything that I am, because all of the giftedness and all the focus I gained was just because of her. So Kissing Another Rain, Lonely, I think it'll probably change in like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but in this moment, those are it. Vincent Harper, where do you get your inspiration for your songs? Also, what would your advice be for upcoming singers? We love your music. Please never stop making your songs. Thank you. It's so nice. Amazing. Inspiration's a weird thing. I don't always try to rely on it. I'm really happy. I try to Yeah, my goal is to just be able to write a song whenever it comes to like writing a song because I've worked so hard on the crafts. Because inspiration is an awesome thing, but if you rely on it, that means you're kind of like a slave to the inspiration. So my goal eventually is just to be able to write an awesome song without just like from scratch whenever I can. But obviously that takes a lot of work. So, but yeah, inspiration, like there's a lot of inspiration for like or for love, and then for like innocence, and like sometimes hearts break, and like Man of Stone. Yeah, but it's not always there. I don't think I had inspiration for maybe like Fire in the Wind, or yeah, I don't know what inspired Lonely Lonely. I just kind of sat down and wrote, or Dance All Night. I just kind of sat down and wrote. So there's a lot of it always differs. Um, Harley Gale, if you would do a collab with any artist, one past and one present, who would you like to do with? Who'd do them with? Your music is amazing, mate. Keep killing it. Thank you so much. That's such a hard question. I don't think I could do one present like NF, John Bellion. Um, I don't know. That's such a hard question. I don't even know what to past. Maybe Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke's like my favorite singer of all time from like the 60s or 70s, 50s, whenever he was from. I find him to be like incredible, and A Change Gonna Come is like the greatest album of all time. It's freaking amazing. But yeah, I don't even know. I don't know how I do on collabs either. I feel like, yeah, I'll just say NF, John Bellion. They're on the top of my lists. Will you really answer this question from James9957? I guess I'm answering it right now, so yes, that's my answer. Thank you for asking it. I appreciate you. From White Reaper, do you like anime? If yes, what is your favorite anime? Naruto, easy, not even hard. I watched like 15 episodes of Boruto today instead of doing work, so that's kind of an issue. Yeah, I think Naruto's number. I love Death Note too. Death Note was amazing. I watched it twice. I bought all the manga because I'm a weirdo. I'm watching, what is it? My Hero Academia right now, and it's one of my favorites as well. Hunter x Hunter was really good, but I've kind of got bored in the Chimera arc. But I think it's because I watched it in the dub and the voices are kind of goofy. I think if I would have watched sub, I would have liked it more, but I kind of dropped that one. I'm on my anime list if y'all want to add me. Nathan Wagner 762. We can all kind of like share our animes together and what we liked and what we didn't like. The anime is my favorite. I'm a total nerd. I have a bunch of Naruto mugs and Goku mugs, and I'm not cool. CWF. Nathan Wagner, what are your thoughts on the meaning of life? The meaning of life, I know everything I've ever done was in attempts of being loved. Like I wanted to be famous because I didn't love myself. So it's like if I was famous, people would be forced to love me, or they kind of just, I'd have that title that would give me purpose so that people would be drawn to me. And I don't know, I think the meaning of life, I think love's the only thing that's ever made me feel alive. It could be different for other people, but for me, connection with people, just being loved and loving others, I think that's everything. And yeah, I don't know. What are yours? I could be wrong. From Feely Routes, how are you these days? Mostly happy, sad, numb, energetic? I've actually been good. I've been doing I've changed my diet, and it's incredible how much that has kind of shifted my mood like every day. I've not done carbohydrates before 3 o'clock, and then I've not done dairy till like 8. And it sounds like a weird, goofy diet, but it's made a heck of a difference. And I found I have a bunch of triggers that send me into a bad place. And carbs at a certain time of the day will give me like a headache, and then caffeine. I was doing a ton of coffee, and that wasn't good for me because caffeine was just like giving me these headaches. And yeah, this summer was like really, really rough, and it got so bad that I was just like, okay, I need to actually make an effort to change myself and change my habits. So I've been working out like 4 or 5 times a week. I've been eating completely differently, and then yeah. So I guess I've been good. Praise the Lord. I've become so much more productive than I ever thought possible, and I think it's just rooted from like health. So thank you for asking. That's really kind of you. Okay, from Max, Mr. Man, what's your favorite song / artist of all time? And because of your connection to God, what do you think of people who don't believe in God? Like, is it important to you that another person believes in God, or you don't mind that if someone else doesn't believe in Him? My favorite song of all time, probably "The Burning Bush" from the Prince of Egypt. I never get "Hand of God" by John Bellion is incredible. Maybe those two. I can't think of anything. "Pieces" by Red. That's another one that never doesn't get me. I find those incredible. My favorite artist of all time. I don't know if I'm allowed to say Kanye West, but I'm obsessed with Kanye West. And then John Bellion is incredible. And then growing up, it was always Red, the Christian metal band. They were freaking incredible, and I grew up listening to them nonstop. So And Linkin Park too. Linkin Park. I know I was only supposed to say one, but that's so hard for me. I don't know how I round it up to one. um, and as far as people that don't believe in God, like I don't know, they're human too. I don't look down on anybody because they think differently than me. I think it's actually really beautiful that people have different worldviews and perspectives, and I don't think disagreement should be divisive. I think it should be something that brings people together because you can see a different walk of life. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. We all see things differently. I'm not a power person whatsoever. So the idea of me trying to like change somebody, I'll never want to kind of change somebody else. Which I know, as far as the Christian perspective, that's not a good way to go about it at all. But I'm just kind of a passive sort of person. I'm definitely not very strong-willed. I just kind of like to fade into the background. So yeah, I don't know. I love you all, human, Christian, Buddhist, Muslim. There's no, yeah, it's all love. And I don't know. I think my faith in like Christ has been the most impactful, powerful thing. I think it's the best thing I've experienced in this life. But yeah, I don't judge people that think differently. It's just like we're all human. We all have our perspective and our worldview. So I hope that answer doesn't get me in trouble with all the Christians. We'll see. From Bronxy, what song you made? Explain your path of life today. What song you made? Explain your path or life today. I'm not totally sure what you mean by that. I've made a lot of songs. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. My path of life is just music, I guess, and try and find people that I love, and yeah, but I'm not entirely sure what you're asking. But I love you, and you're amazing. From Jama.n, what's your favorite song? Yeah, just like Pieces by Red, Hand of God, John Bellion, and then The Prince of Egypt, Burning Bush. I'm gonna stick with those. And why you choose this kind of emotional songs? I just love emotional music. Ever since I was a kid, that's like what I've been drawn to, and I'm pretty emotional myself, whether I'd like to admit it or not. So yeah, it's just always what I've been drawn to. Can I take your voice? Sure, definitely. I mean, I don't know how that would work, but if I could like give it away, yeah, I don't see why not. Lone Wolf 300. When you first started, did you think no one would listen to your songs, or not? You were not good enough, like most songwriters starting off in the career? Yeah, I always feel like I'm not good enough. It's just that weird internal battle. I'm always feeling like everything I do is kind of like garbage, and I have to always just step back and because I do like I'll do all the instruments, and then I'll do the vocals, and then I'll mix it, and then I'll master it, and I'll do every kind of stage of production. And I think I'll remember like when I initially record it and put like lay it down, I'll be absolutely in love, but then I'll do all the technical stuff, and it oftentimes like sucks the life out of the song, and I'll just feel like it's garbage. So I have to have my friends who are honest, and I'll send out a bunch of emails and be like, is this good, is this bad, and they'll give me their honest feedback. And yeah, I don't think I've ever really gotten a negative reaction, but I know after hearing something 50 million times, it's hard to kind of believe in it oftentimes. So yeah, I still think people wouldn't. It's just I definitely struggle with feeling like I'm good, and I think that's just a normal artist thing. But I thank y'all for your comments too. It's always like literally so encouraging, and it's amazing. I'm very thankful. It's from Spycrab57, Nathan Wagner. Have you ever written any stories or poems before? I've actually written a ton of poems. I actually recorded an album of poetry last week. It was like 7-8 tracks that were really short, but I kind of felt like it was garbage, so I didn't actually continue with it because I think lyrically it was really good, but just musically it was kind of boring. But yeah, I've never really written any stories. I think that'd be fun, but I also know that it's a craft that takes lots and lots of practice and research, and I don't think I'd ever have the discipline to learn to do it well. But yeah, definitely poems. I love poems. I think they're a lot of fun, and for me it's just a good way to understand myself better. From The Power of Pride, is it pronounced Nathan Wagner or Wagner, or is it just Nathan Wagner? It's just Nathan Wagner. I know I'm related to the composer Wagner, according to my dad. I don't know if it's 100% true, but he says, yeah, you're a descendant of Wagner, the dude who did the Wedding March and stuff. So yeah, but I guess we kind of Americanized it into Wagner. I know, pretty sad, boring. From Fractured Glass, what's the meaning of this song and your other ones? I keep forgetting this is on the Burn video, so I think that context is helpful. The meaning of Burn, it's just like that weird I overthink everything. I always think like 10 stages deep into everything, and it's just like my weird trust issues that I've developed through like trauma. and like if my kingdom, if do people love me because of like who I am, or is it just like what I offer? And I've been blessed with a lot of like talents and gifts, and oftentimes sometimes it feels like people only kind of are around me because of that and because of the superficial value that I carry. And I guess it's just me kind of expressing my fear of, do people love me, or do they love what I offer and what I just kind of the idea of who I am. And yeah, yeah, there's a lot of different meanings to a lot of different stuff. And Man of Stone is just like the walls I built up and need to let come down, and like how the only thing I truly want is like relationships and connections with people, but I'm just such a man of stone that I don't even move and I don't do anything about it because I'm afraid of being seen for who I truly am. Like sometimes hearts break, obviously. It's just a typical breakup song. Love, just typical love song. Lonely, it's just like, I don't know. It's, I think the main concept of that is like, am I alone? Am I the only person that feels like alone, or do we all feel alone and do we all wear a mask? And then like, why not just like take it off? And yeah, there's so many. Dance All Night is just like that idea of how I get so deep and intellectual and want to understand everything, but when reality it's like the most profound moments are when I'm just like free and turn my brain off and I'm not worried about any deep like philosophical meaning of everything, and I'm just free and like dancing and being crazy. So do you have clear understanding of what is the main purpose of your life? Yeah, for me, it's just connections with people and love and relationships. I think everything else has led me empty. And I know for me, with my faith, it's like that, the relationship that'll never fail me, like my relationship with Christ and God. And I'm sure it sounds so crazy to people that aren't believers, but I've just had these weird experiences that I can't explain and that logic can't necessarily explain. And when you experience something that defies logic, all of a sudden you don't know what's real anymore and what to think. So yeah, I think my relationships connection, and my connection to God is the only perfect relationship that'll never fail me. And yeah, that's me. I don't know. I'd love to hear your purpose and how you perceive it. From DJ XO slash Trixo, how are you? I'm good. I worked out a little bit ago and I'm a little tired, but I got a smoothie, so that's pretty cool. Smoothie King. I got the pure recharge strawberry with a little bit of protein, and it makes me happy. So I'm thankful. I'm in a good mood. Mr. Colin, when will you work for a film? When will we have an acoustic live? Honestly, I'd love to work for a film. I don't know if it's anytime in the near future, just because I got to build my career in my own music and my own kind of, I don't know. It's been so much fun just getting so much stuff recorded and laid down, and just having my own music to listen to that's going to last me my lifetime. But I would love to, like, kind of when my career kind of dies down and I'm just kind of, I don't know, done it, it'd be awesome to work on a film and see what I could come up with. I'll hope I'll be better by then. And yeah, that'd be really cool. I actually recorded 2 acoustic lives today. I did 1,000 Lifetimes and Sometimes Hearts Break, so those will be up maybe next week or the week after. I'm really excited about them. They were filmed on an iPhone, so I don't know if they'll look any good, but I hope that was me and my audio stuff, so I think at least they'll sound good. I hope, unless I'm bad. I never really know. From Zach Zering, I don't know exactly what type of genre I would put your music in. It seems very theatrical and emotional. Did you always know what type of music you were going to make? Oh, well, thank you. I don't even know what kind of, I just kind of do whatever I feel like. Like, it's goofy. I know I put The Darkness out, and then the next week was like Hakuna Matata. It's like you can't find 2 more opposite genres, but I just kind of write what I feel like. And if I want to be in like the music thing for long term, I think I really have to just kind of like enjoy it and not kind of box me in and try and kind of make shit, or what's the word? Like inside the box music. I have to kind of, I don't know, I just want to have fun with it, and I don't want to do the same thing every time. I don't want to sell out and make boring pop music. I just want to kind of do whatever. So that's what I've done. I've never, I don't know what my genre would be. I never know what to say. I always say like pop rock or like alternative, but I don't know if that actually works. If you guys figure it out, please tell me, because I have no idea what my genre is. And that leads me perfectly to the next comment, which is from Gassizo. I'm so sorry if I said your name wrong. I'm dyslexic, and what genre do you think your songs fall in? I have no idea. Someone please tell me. I never know what to say. I always just do pop rock, alternative, and I don't think any of those actually are right. I guess it's just this weird sort of thing. Maybe worlds. Yeah, I really have no idea. From Leanne McEllis, I'm so sorry if I said it wrong. Has your career in music helped you grow as a person, and how has it helped you grow? Honestly, yeah, so much. I know when I started, I did my album in high school, my whole mentality was like, oh, I'm gonna help so many people. I'm gonna make music, and it's gonna be all about others. And it's funny because I was a mess, but it's somehow I felt I had like reason to help others, and I had something to say to other people, and maybe it did. But but yeah, as I grew older and I started kind of pursuing emotional healing and stuff, I know I put Love was the first song I put out after like years and years of kind of taking a hiatus from music to study production and be able to record my songs myself. And I started with the line, "All I want is to be loved." And like I kind of wanted like I wrote a first draft and it was just about my loneliness, but I was so scared of being vulnerable. I'd never told anybody that I felt lonely because I have this weird perception like if I'm not perfect, people won't love me and people won't want to see me or value me. And yeah, so I kind of like took the coward's way out and I made it a love song. And then as like time went on, I was just super afraid of like being vulnerable. And I remember one day I just wrote lonely, and for the first time I was like truly honest with myself about like how I felt, and it's like I actually feel alone and imperfect. And yeah, so that was the first song that I actually had no I didn't want to, I wasn't focused on really helping anybody. I was just like, shoot, this is who I am. And my perspective was like, oh, this my perspective was almost kind of like selfish, like just venting or whatever. And it's crazy because that was the first song that actually like really had an impact. And I don't know, it's like that quote, I wanted to change the world, and then or maybe before I tried to change the world, I should have changed myself. And I've just been on this kind of journey of understanding myself and trying to make myself a better person and trying to be more down to earth and authentic and real. Because I don't know, I don't want to be fake. That sounds like the worst thing in the universe. So yeah, it's been a crazy process, and I think these past 4 years have been absolutely unreal. I've grown so much as a human being, and I'm so thankful. And I've had so many mentors that have just helped steer me in the right direction. I've done a lot of like inner healing retreats, and it's been really cool just kind of trace back why I react to certain things certain ways. And yeah, so I'm really thankful. From Tasia, Carl, preface, your music reaches all of us personally. You have been through so much and you really have a gift, and I'm so extremely grateful that you didn't give up or let that gift be smothered, because it helped so many people, and you are making a huge difference. Thank you. That's beautiful. I'm so glad I could help, and my story could be inspiring or yeah, bring joy to other people. Question: what would you say to people who feel purposeless or worthless and have given up on their dreams? And what was your experience journey from when you started now that you have many fans and followers who adore your music, all the music that you create? It's unreal. Thank you so much, everybody who supports me. I don't even know what to say. I'm just so grateful. And I always feel like I'm undeserving, and I know it's the unhealthy state of mind I have. So just thank you, thank you, thank you. For people that feel purposeless and worthless, I know I was there. And I thought it was like so selfish for me to be like, oh yeah, I want to do music. I'll pursue music. I can do that. And yeah, I feel like there's no chance. And I think I just let fear take all control, and fear of failure, and just like my anxiety. And yeah, I don't know, I'd say just get down and write. Just get down and write. One of the most powerful things I ever did is I took an hour and I just journaled where I want my life to be in 15 years. And there's like a bunch of different sections. Like there's of success. There's like family. There's fun. There's career, and then there's friend, and then there's, oh shoot, did I say that right? So it's family, career, fun, and then for me there's faith and health. So I just wrote down my goals that I want to see like in 15 years with all of those things, and I got really clear with my vision so that I don't let the wind kind of take me, that I had a clear outline of where I want to be so that I could live my day-to-day life in accordance to like those goals. And one thing I noticed this summer is I was getting kind of fat, and if I continued down the same fat path, I wouldn't be like in 10 years I'd not be like health-wise where I wanted to be. So I had to change up my diet, and I had to change up my just my exercise habits and everything. And yeah, I just say get really clear with your dreams and the life you want to live, and I'd say go for it. Like, why not? Just if you live your day-to-day life in pursuit of a long-term goal, there's nothing that's impossible. You can literally do anything. It's just a matter of getting really clear and then just writing out a plan as to how you're going to do that. And yeah, I believe in you. Don't feel worthless. Don't feel purposeless. You're a human being, so that's beautiful. And yeah, my experience and journey from when I started out to now, I'm so thankful for all the fans that support me. It's been crazy, and I don't even know what to say. But as far as like happiness, like I know success doesn't necessarily make you happier. I think relationships, yeah, it's a mix of those things that I just mentioned, like family, health, career, having fun, because if you're not having any fun in your life, what's the point of being successful? And then for me, faith. And I'd say, yeah, I was starting to get real successful this summer, and my numbers were going crazy. And I don't know if it's real successful, but compared to where I was, it was mind blowing to me. But I was miserable because I wasn't feeling healthy, and I was like gaining weight, and I had a bunch of diet stuff and foods that were making me feel terrible. So like when at the height of my career that I'd been at that point, I was feeling almost miserable because I was just unhealthy, and I was just feeling bad every day. So I'd say I think emotional healing and learning to kind of put myself onto the best track to be successful through like all those things that I just mentioned is kind of the best way to go about life. And my journey in life, I think, has led me to that place, and I'm so thankful for my career. But there's a balance of just like spending time with the people you love, and then being healthy and working in your career so that you're successful and you're not financially like frozen, and doing fun things. And yeah, so I hope that's a good answer. I don't know if I just kind of rambled a bit. I probably rambled a bit. I'm not the most linear thinker, so I apologize if I'm all over the place. But from Saliha Cameron, I hope I said that right. Hey Nathan, will it be okay if I make a non-profit comic inspired by your lyrics with credits? Of course, I would love that. Just make sure you send it to me. I love comics. I might like have this bookshelf in my room. It's like all the Naruto manga and the Death Note manga and the Full Metal Alchemist manga. I'm a total comic nerd, so yeah, definitely send it to me. That's amazing. I would love that so much. From Camellia Patricia Casman, why did you become a singer? Which singer would you say are you most influenced by? How do you write your own songs? How are you so amazing? And I love your music and your voice. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. You're so nice. As far as becoming a singer, I don't even know. I just fell in love with music, and it was never like I want to be a super successful musician. I just fell in love with music when I was a kid, and I also think it was kind of a coping mechanism because I lost my friend at a young age, and to me, people kind of seemed like she passed when I was 8, so the way I perceived the world became different, and I started instead of investing in people, because people to me seemed like broken, that they were just gonna go away and run away. I invested in music, and so I owe all of my talent and my giftedness to her. So it was a lot of different things, but yeah, I don't really know. Which singer would you say you're influenced by? I don't even know. I listened to a bunch of metal people like Chester Bennington and Fred, and a whole bunch of like hard rock singers growing up. Honestly, a lot of Creed. I know Creed's very controversial and people probably hate them, but that's what I grew up listening to. That's probably how I got my raspy voice and I loved David Cook growing up, and like Shinedown and a bunch of rock people. So I'd say I'm just influenced by a lot of rock vocalists, and yeah, that's probably that's probably where it came from. How do you write your songs? I just sit down on a piano or a guitar, and I just try and come up with something that isn't bad. I'll usually just kind of like jam on the piano or guitar and then find a melody, and then I'll usually write lyrics around the melody that I have. And yeah, it's usually my process. Nothing too crazy, pretty stock and simple. I don't think I've ever written anything outside of just sitting on a piano or a guitar. How are you so amazing, and I love your music. You're very kind. Thank you so much for the support. It literally means everything, and I'm so thankful. From Maddie B, Nathan Wagner, how do you incorporate God into your everyday life? Honestly, I'm probably not the best at it. I think legalism has lost a lot of power over me, though. So it's like he's not angry at us; he's proud of us, and he's pleased with us. And I think I'm trying to change my perspective of trying to live for him from a kind of like legalistic view, like I need to perform in order to earn his love, to just kind of like, oh, I love him and he's I gotta do life for him because he's amazing and he loves me so much. And yeah, so I don't know, I do spend a lot of time in prayer and just kind of like meditating and listening, and I'm actually going through the Bible in a year right now, which has been a lot of fun. It's been really cool. See, I don't really know. I think it's just a perspective thing, and then also trying to adapt his worldview, which I think is react to all things in love. And I've really been trying to adapt that to my life because I don't know, love's all I actually want. So why do I do anything but it? I've been trying to just kind of like keep the deep part of my heart, like the deepest part of my heart, which is I want to be kind. I want to be nice. I want to just kind of do all things in love. And I've been trying to keep it at the forefront and not be afraid to have that. So I don't know if that makes sense. I always feel like I'm a terrible communicator, but that's kind of like the gist. So thank you so much for asking. From Harasema, have you ever thought of making OSTs for movies or a series? Like you go to an entertainment company and show your work. I would love to. I love anime and I love all that stuff. I think OST is the opener. I'm not totally sure for like anime. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong and totally misinterpret this question. But I would love to work with an entertainment company eventually and do music for like an anime or a movie or something. I think that'd be a ton of fun. And I love film and I love all the just different arts and stuff. And it'd be really awesome to kind of join a team. So yeah, I've definitely thought about it. And I think as my career kind of slows down for my solo stuff, I'd love to kind of do a bunch of stuff for other people, and that'd be really cool. From M's JB, what up? How have you been, Nathan? Last Q&A, you mentioned you were getting help with your depression and anxiety. How's that going? And how is managing your lifestyle, food habits, sleep, exercise been going? This is awesome. Yeah, I was talking about this a bit earlier. And as far as my depression, I feel like I don't remember the last time I've been depressed, and I feel so blessed. And I cut out all gluten, which has totally changed my mood daily, and it's been amazing because I do think I'm sensitive, and it sends me into. It's weird how much like food will affect our mental health. Like I know gluten is just because when you don't feel good, it's kind of hard to be happy. So it's actually been going really good. I've been working out like 3-4 times a week. I'm down like 15 pounds. Praise the Lord. It's mind blowing. It's really crazy since that Q&A because I remember the last Q&A was kind of the beginning of my health journey, and it's been I can't believe I've stuck with it. It's been really good, and my cousin's been my personal trainer, and he's just done an incredible job. And every time I try to give up, he's just like, "No, dude, we're gonna go anyways." And yeah, so managing my health has been gone so much better, and I know. Like back in July, I told myself I was going to put my health first, and I felt like I was kind of sitting back my music progress. But it's been amazing because I've had so much more energy, and I know when I started kind of spending the majority of my time trying to like just get healthy and lose weight and make myself physically feel good, I became like way less productive for like a month or so with my music. But as my energies come back, I've like been doing a song a week, and it's mind blowing. And now it's been amazing how effective it's been, and I just feel really blessed. So thank you so much for asking and checking in. It's been going great, and pray that it continues to go great because I don't want to go back to the depression. I know the anxiety I still struggle with, but I've been trying to kind of journal and find the roots of why I struggle with anxiety and why it comes and how to kind of overcome it. So yeah, the anxiety is still a battle, but as far as the depression, I've been feeling good. So praise the Lord. From Raven Strider 526, how did you get started? I would love to be where you are now, though I'm not half as talented. I don't know about that. I wouldn't know where to begin. I just say get super serious and just give it all you got. I've worked so hard, and I don't necessarily know if it's talent, but it's just a matter of discipline and like pursuing every single day, just trying to get better and to learn more. And a little bit of consistency over a long time turns into a lot. So I just say, I don't know, just start going. I know as far as me with my workout, I'd always have these excuses and stuff, and I'd be like, oh, I can't go for I'd be like, oh, I don't have the perfect predicament to go work out, so I'm not going to do it. And the predicament's never going to be perfect. I just go for it and start Googling things like how to be a better singer, how to be a better guitar player, how to be a better musician, how to be a better producer, and I just start researching and studying. I know I bought all the audio engineering textbooks from like the local college that was around me, and I just started just learning everything I could and trying to. I know for a couple of years I spent like 12 hours every day, Monday through Friday. I just treated it like it was my full-time job, and it became just this. I just got super dedicated, super disciplined, and I just say work really hard, and there's literally nothing you can't do. You can be a trillion times more successful than me, better than me in every single way. It's just a matter of discipline and work, and I believe in you and I support you. I bet you can do it. So you should just do it. Just go for it. From Nayela, how you doing? I hope all is good. You said, hi Nathan, I wanted to know if every music you ever wrote are about real persons, real experiences, etc. And second question, what's your close relatives think about your songs? Appreciate you very much. Keep doing music for our sake. Sorry, I'm so bad at reading. Yeah, it depends. A lot of the songs, I think the majority of the songs are about real experiences. Especially like the newer stuff. It's just been a lot of me trying to figure out who I am and myself and understand why my life goes the way it does. So but it's a mix. Like, Don't Forget Me was inspired by a feeling I got listening to an Eminem song that I thought was the last one on the Revival record. And but the majority, it's just my real experiences, and sometimes Heartbreak, that was an experience. Man of Stone, that was just me and the way I operated with people and how I'd want to connect, but I'm too afraid because I'm too afraid if they saw like who I truly was, who I truly was, they want to drift in. Just my weird mental patterns that I have. Like, I miss you. That was about a real person. It wasn't a romantic thing, but it was more just like somebody who used to feel close, who feels so distant. And like Fire in the Wind, that was just for fun. Me and a friend, we got together and we ate a bunch of nachos, and then we wrote a song. Just why not? But yeah, it really depends. It's different on every song. As far as my close relatives thinking about my songs, honestly, I don't think they listen. The majority of the people that know me personally don't listen to my music or have any idea as to what's going down, which I actually think is pretty cool because I'm a pretty private person and I don't like being the center of attention. It makes me feel uncomfortable. So, yeah, no, as my brothers, they're so supportive. They're the greatest people in the universe. But as far as my close relatives, like cousins and stuff, yeah, none of them really have any idea, and I don't really talk about it. So we'll see what happens. If it gets really big, that might be kind of goofy, but yeah, I don't think I know. As far as my family goes, they haven't really changed, and I don't think maybe a few of them are aware, but the majority just have no idea what's going on in my life, and I don't know. I think I'm thankful. Yeah, I think I'm thankful. We'll see what happens in the next coming years. From Premia, why do you want to sing? You're the best. Hug from France. Thank you. Hug from Chicago. Why do I want to sing? I don't even know, to be honest. I just feel like that's what I do. It's just kind of like my thing, and it's my passion, and there's nothing more powerful to me than writing and recording a song and then listening back and having like an eternal timestamp of that like season of my life. And like 5 years from now, it's amazing just to be able to listen back to something that like won't die and I'll have for the rest of my life. So I love recording. As far as live performance, I've not done it a whole lot. I'm scared I'm going to be a really bad live singer. We'll see what happens, but yeah, why did you want to sing? This is past tense. I'm sorry, I totally misread your question. I don't even know. I just kind of did it when I was a little kid, and I always loved it. I remember there, like, apparently I read about the journal my mom kept when I was a little kid from, like, forever ago, and apparently the first thing I did was I sang before I taught. And then as, like, I was growing up, I was always singing. That was always kind of, like, what I did. So it's always kind of been a thing that I did as from the time I was a little kid. And yeah, it's because kind of was always there. I don't know if I've ever wanted to. I just kind of did it, and it was awesome. So thank you for the question. I love the French people. I had a French foreign exchange student, and he was the coolest dude of all time. So from Z Loyalty 1, do you believe there is a perfect for life to exist? Yeah, I believe so, definitely. Call me like optimistic or whatever, but I'd rather be optimistic and right than pessimistic and wrong. I think we all have purpose, and we're all like worthy of being loved. And I know for me, love is the only thing that's ever made me feel alive, and connection with people is the only reason I've ever actually done anything. So I think just the purpose for us as community and to love and be loved. And yeah, I don't think anything else is more valuable. I'm also a like man of faith, so I believe I'm a Christian, and I believe that's a huge part of everything. I think that's like the core of everything I do. But yeah, I definitely believe there's purpose. Call me wishful thinker or whatever, but I'd rather be optimistic wrong than pessimistic and right. From Flower to BO, where do you get ideas for songs, and where is the background art from? As far as ideas for songs, it's always different. Sometimes there's inspiration. Sometimes I'm just kind of like trying to do it despite having lack of inspiration. And I find the majority of the best songs that I write usually come from inspiration, but it always differs. Sometimes just sitting down, the inspiration doesn't come until you sit on the piano and start playing a little bit. So yeah, I don't really know. It's just kind of like a random thought I'll have, and I'll be like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna write about that. As far as the background art, it's usually Pixabay, DeviantArt, or I just got like a membership to Shutterstock, so they're just royalty free. It's royalty free art, and I don't know. We'll see how that goes. It's really high quality, and I'm excited. Hopefully, it ups my game, but I don't know. From Darkness 789, what movie series would you like to make music to? Also, what soundtrack is your favorite? Honestly, maybe Naruto is my favorite show of all time, so maybe some sort of like anime. Call me a crazy weird person, but I'm obsessed with anime. I'm like the biggest fan nerd in the universe. So I watched 15 episodes of Boruto this morning instead of working, and it was freaking incredible. So yeah, probably some sort of anime just because of my obsession with Naruto. As far as soundtrack, probably The Prince of Egypt. I don't think I've ever listened to anything more than I've listened to The Prince of Egypt. I went to sleep to it like every night for over a year. So yeah, it's incredible. It never gets old. It's still magical. From Hunter Vexulik, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Nathan Wagner, how old were you when you wrote your very first song? And also, you helped me get through very tough times, especially lonely. Hope your future does you well. That's awesome. I'm glad I could help. That's crazy. Uh, I remember my mom told me I used to write like songs on my plate when I was a little kid after I was done eating. It'd be like little lyrics, and so I guess it's always been in my blood. I don't know when my first like officials. I don't know. I guess I've just been doing it since I was like a toddler. So it was in my blood, and it's always been there. And yeah, I got lucky as a little kid who liked to write songs. From Inspiri Blue, Nathan Wagner, do you like pigeons? I've never really thought about pigeons, but I'm sure if I saw them, I'd like them. I love animals, so dogs are my favorite. I'm sure I'd love pigeons. Do you like pigeons? From Natsu Dragon Neil, how do you come up with these songs, the song scripts? What situation thing inspires you to come up with these lyrics? Yeah, I really don't even know. It's just I'll sit down and I'll just write and I'll write about something that means something to me, or just try and I just try and come up with something. And I know for me being creative, it's a lot of just turning my critic off and being giving myself willingness to sound stupid or write something stupid, because oftentimes our critic is what holds us back from being creative or doing anything. See, I don't. It's different. It's different every time. Sometimes it's inspiration. Sometimes I'll just sit down and try and write. Situation thing inspires me to come up with these lyrics. Yeah, it depends. Sometimes it's life. Like Kissing the Rain, that was a life situation. Lonely, that was just kind of like a combobulation of my whole like upbringing and my whole everything. Love, it was I was watching Black Mirror and I got this feeling that I just wrote about. 1,000 lifetimes I was with a friend and he's just like, sometimes I feel like life is better when we're asleep, and then we just wrote about it and it was beautiful. So yeah, it's always different. From Expert Medusa 17. This isn't really a question, but I really love your music, bro. Keep it up. Thank you so much. You're so kind. I appreciate you. From Ashik A. Would you allow me to write a lyric for you? Yeah, I'd love to hear it. That'd be awesome. It could inspire something cool. Or I'd fail and yeah, and send me stuff. That'd be awesome. Make my life a lot easier. From Joyful, when is the tour? P.S. Seattle, please. I don't even know. Hopefully soon. My little brother's on tour with a K. He's getting mentored by the tour manager of a K-Love tour. If y'all listen to Christian radio, We Are Messengers. He's been on their tour bus for the past few months, and it's actually pretty crazy because my favorite band growing up was Red, and it just so happens that the tour manager on that bus is the original drummer from Red, and he's been like touring Sam, and yeah, Sam's learning so much. So I hopefully Sam's goal is to be my tour manager eventually in the next few years, and we just hit the road and hopefully Seattle, definitely Seattle, and share the vision. Because yeah, I know I'm totally anxious, and I've done like 2 shows in the past 2 years, and that's probably not a good way to get over my anxiety. So yeah, who are your favorite artist songs from letters that I don't know how to say? What's your favorite genre of music? My favorite artist and songs: John Bellion, Kanye West. I don't know if that'll get me in trouble. I love Kendrick Lamar too. He's incredible. I don't know if that'll get me in trouble. Honestly, I love a lot of like hip hop influences, which is funny because my music's I'm inspired by a whole bunch of different genres, but hip hop's like not one of them whatsoever. I love, as far as like worship people, I love Corey Asbury. He's incredible. He changed my life when I saw him live back in high school. Linkin Park, I grew up listening to. Red, I grew up listening to. They totally crafted my music that I have right now. Songs, I'll say Hand of God by John Bellion, The Burning Bush from The Prince of Egypt, and Pieces by Red. Those are the 3 songs that I've like always come back to forever. Oh, also I've been loving Mike Posner lately. His A Real Good Kid album is incredible, and I've listened to it a trillion times, and it's phenomenal. My favorite genre of music, I don't even know. It's I think anything that's done really, really well is incredible. I grew up loving metal, and as I've gotten older, I've gotten more into like hip hop influenced like pop music, like the John Bellion stuff and Kanye West. But yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite genre. I probably listen to John Bellion more than anybody else, and I love movie soundtracks too. So maybe a soundtrack. Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. I'm not the most opinionated person in the universe. From X Fire Ton, would you like to try metal someday? I actually was in a metal band back in high school. I was the singer. We won Battle of the Bands. I was real proud. As a sophomore. We actually have a recording somewhere on the internet, but I'm not going to tell you where because I'm not proud of my voice. I was like a 15-year-old kid that didn't know what he was doing. It was a lot of fun, though. I love the people, and I'm still really good friends with the lead screamer. The drummer of that metal band did all the drums on my original album back when I was in high school, so Yeah, I definitely love to just do a random metal song one day. Why not? That would be a lot of fun. My brother's a really good screamer, so it actually might be pretty cool. I can't scream, but yeah, I'd love to metal. I grew up listening to metal. It was my favorite. From Evan Reed, do you prefer Nightcore versions of your songs to the original you make? I don't know. I like them both. It's kind of interesting. It's a different way to go about it with the Nightcore. I like hearing my voice different because it's like a weird thing when you're a singer. I feel like you don't know what you sound like. Like when I'm listening to myself, I have no idea what I sound like, and I know that sounds really weird. But I feel like when it's pitched up, I actually can like hear myself, and it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's yeah. I don't know. I don't really have a preference. Probably the original, just because it's like me. But Nightcore is cool, and they give me a platform that I'm so thankful for. And yeah, like the Nightcore Galaxy, Cherry, Chino, Ruby Chan, all those beautiful, amazing people. I'm so thankful because I've been given a career because of you guys. It's been so thank you, thank you, thank you. From Shaunicus Gaming, sorry if I said that wrong. Hey Nathan, do you like Alan Walker? And if you do, what is your favorite song of his? I've actually never listened to him, but I always see him in like my recommended artists like Nathan Wagner. And I just listened to Jacob Lee, I think is his name. He's one of the people that are like me as well on Spotify, and I've fallen in love with his music. So I guess I have to listen to Alan Walker next. Thanks for the recommendation. I'll let you know what I think. From abbyshek.g, how do you come up with such beautiful lyrics? I don't even know. You should. I write so like if look at this is my little journal right here. This is just one of my journals. I've got freaking trillion songs, so I just write a ton, and then I eventually, after writing 1,000 songs, get something good. Just a matter of not being afraid to write a lot. And yeah, I've written a trillion bad lyrics for the good lyrics I've had. So I don't know. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. From Yvonne de Villiers, sorry if I butchered your name. Where do you get your inspiration for music? Like, is it life experiences, stuff you've read, seen, heard, or is it stuff that just comes to you? Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's always different. Sometimes it's a feeling. Sometimes it's like a thought that I've had. Something it's just something that means to me. Sometimes it's something I've read. Sometimes it's something I've watched. Honestly, I find write the most songs when I watch the most TV and the most anime. As weird as that sounds, I watched Your Lie in April, and I got this feeling that stuck with me for like 2 weeks. And I wrote sometimes Hearts Break and Man of Stone with the kind of that feeling in mind. So I'm not totally, I'm not I'm not totally sure. It's always so different. But yeah, I think the best way to go about harnessing the inspiration is just not being critical and just allowing yourself to kind of go for it. So treat people with kindness. When and how did you get into music? I took piano lessons when I was 8 years old, and then I started taking guitar lessons, I believe, when I was 10. And then when I was in sixth grade, we started this like church band, and I fell in love with music because I was playing the guitar, and I felt like I was the coolest person in the universe. I was not cool at all, but I felt cool. Would you rather have tongues for fingers or fingers for tongues? Oh my gosh. Hold up, I need to process that question really quick. Tongues for fingers or fingers for tongues? I don't even know because I love eating, so it would like suck not to. Fingers for tongues. It's not noticeable. Any favorite singers? Adele's incredible. Jared Leto's incredible. Chester Bennington's the greatest screamer of all time. He's my hero. Yeah, I don't even know. I should have like more linear thoughts and think through these things, but there's so many people that have inspired me in so many different ways, and like I'll listen to other people's the way they pronounce things and stuff just to try and steal their vocal tricks. I love hearing people that are way better than me because I can just study what they do and kind of take it for myself. So yeah, I don't even know. I know there's somebody that I'm obsessed with that I'm not thinking of right now, but they like won't come to mind. Yeah, there's a trillion people. Here's a joke. I'm not funny, but why not? Knock knock. Who's there? Hatch shoe. Oh, God bless you, my friend. I don't know, but I appreciate your joke. I'm still trying to get it. Maybe I'm just slow. I don't know. From Chaotic Flame, what gives you inspiration for these amazing songs? Yeah, it's always different. Sometimes a feeling, sometimes just like something I'm watching, sometimes a lyric that keeps repeating in my head. Sometimes I like write a song in my head, and it's always different. It's always different. So from superhero drawings, what is your biggest inspiration when you're making these awesome songs? like I said, yeah, it's always different. I don't really know. I can't totally pin it down, but I'm glad you think they're awesome because I oftentimes think they're like the worst things ever. So your encouragement keeps me going. Thank you, thank you. CS production. What's been your biggest breakout moment? Honestly, just like personally, I think when I put Lonely out because I was vulnerable for the first time and I feel like I was truly being authentic and honest, and it's like so many things click, and it's like, oh shoot, I don't have to be afraid of being a broken person because I was afraid if I showed that I wasn't perfect, that people wouldn't love me, and if I took off my mask and was like human, that people would just want to run away. And like I think I was genuinely meant the lyrics like the "Would you run away?" I think I genuinely meant like I've never been truly open and honest, which is also crazy because I was never sure I could be loved because I was never vulnerable enough to like show my broken parts and my weakness and that I'm not this perfect person. And yeah, so I don't know if you mean by career moments, but I think just a life moment, me being able to be honest and vulnerable was the biggest kind of like moment in my career because just as a human being, because I was able to, I don't know, I felt like I was worthy of love because I wasn't afraid of my brokenness anymore, and I wasn't afraid of not being perfect. So yeah, I'll say lonely. I'll say lonely. Gilbert GRFX. How long does it take you to create a song that will be released? It's always different. I did this. I'm gonna put a song out this Friday called "The Performer," and actually it took me like 5 hours. It's super simple, but like Burn, this one took me freaking 45, 50 hours. It took forever. So it's really different. It depends on the song. Lonely, maybe like 15, 16 hours. It just depends on how complex I want to be. Dance All Night took me like 2 weeks. I don't even know the hour count. These are all approximations, but Dance All Night was probably crazy. Spent so much time, and I felt like it wasn't good despite my, yeah, despite all of my work. And I just got super overcritical, and yeah, it really depends on how complex it was. It is, but yeah. From Unknown Unknown, how many times do you play a day to train your vocals, play the musical instruments, and write music? Have you got other hobbies? If yes, do they develop at music somehow? However, thanks for your amazing songs. I don't even know. Honestly, I need to practice my vocals every day, build my vocal cords up. I usually do everything in my brain. So like I'll plan out my vocal stuff in my brain, and I'll practice my musical instruments in my brain. I found that if I count intervals in my head, I can just kind of like play piano in my head, if that makes sense. So ever since I was a little kid, I've just kind of, or when I started playing piano, I just have been counting scales and intervals in my brain, and I've been writing music kind of in my head. So I don't really practice my musical instruments like ever, but it's been a constant mental thing. So I'm always playing, and when I hear music like on the radio or whatever, I'll kind of play it in my head and follow the intervals. But yeah, I don't really practice. Is that bad? I don't know. I do a lot of production stuff on my laptop. As far as other hobbies, I love playing sports. I love athletic stuff. That's probably my favorite. I don't play a lot of video games. I get bored. And I think that's a blessing because I'd probably be wasting tons of time. I love TV. I watched 15 episodes of Boruto this morning. I don't know how many episodes, but I watched it for a very long time. So yeah, I like television. I like athletic stuff. I don't really like a lot of things. I'm a pretty boring person, if I'm being honest. I like people, being with people I love. That's amazing. I like to eat. Yeah. Um, when I'm working out, oftentimes I'll just write music in my head, and then I'll go back home and I'll just kind of record it, and I'll keep it in my records and maybe write something to it and make it come out. But yeah, from Kira and Boyne, when are you blessing the UK with your presence? Hopefully soon. I would love to do a European tour. Nothing would be better in the universe than going to Europe to do music. So hopefully soon. I don't know when it'll happen. I've still not done a US tour. But in the next few years, I promise I'll come see you guys. How did you get into songwriting, singing come about? Was it just a random thoughts jotted down and turned into a song? I don't honestly know. Apparently, I've been doing this since I was a little kid, according to my mom. So I can't remember ever like the first time or whatever. It's just kind of like always been something that I did. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I was just a weird little kid that loved music and just wrote songs, and I just never kind of stopped. I've just been doing it for as long as I can remember. I always wondered how you've come to write such deep songs. Like, do you have to reach back to some painful memories for some of them? The raw emotion and grit in some of them makes it seem that way. Please continue to do what you're doing. Thank you very much for the question. Yeah, I don't know. I've been doing a lot of emotional healing and like counseling and stuff the past year, and I've had to kind of really dive deep and go into the places that I don't want to necessarily go, so that I don't have to like be controlled by them. And my goal has just been to see the world in kind of a healthy way. Because I know for me, it's like when you're a little kid, you're usually innocent, and then something crappy comes along. Like for me, I lost my closest friend when I was 8 years old, and all of a sudden the way I saw the world was different, and I reacted to everything differently because my perspective was different. So like I kind of isolated myself from people instead of going and being like a normal kid and trying to just make friends and do normal kid stuff. Instead, I invested in like music and different sort of creative things. And yeah, so a lot of what I've been doing this past year is just trying to come to like kind of get clarity as to why I do the things I do and I see the world the way I do, and try to just get my reactions back to just healthy and innocent and pure, and yeah, not be afraid to just be, yeah, I guess my goal is just to be innocent again and to see the world in an innocent light, and to just be able to assume the best of people even if I'm like wrong, and just yeah, be like an optimist. That's yeah, so it's been a weird, really weird process, and I've been digging into a whole bunch of painful memories. I found that I don't have like any childhood memories after like she passed away, and like there's so many weird different paradigms that I'm getting clarity on, and I've been finding healing, and healing kind of is super super painful, but for me and my walk, it's been so hard, but it's been so worth it. And yeah, I hope that's a good answer. I'm not totally sure, but yeah, that emotional healing process has definitely helped me write a ton. It's been yeah. So from Xenotron, I have currently no questions, but I'm here to say good luck and hopefully you'll achieve each of your goals you have in mind. We will always support you. Thank you so much. You're so kind. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, I saw your comments last time. Thank you. It means literally everything. I never thought there'd be any support. So it's just like weird to actually see it like work. I remember even like posting Glove, I was like convinced that nobody was going to watch or listen. And now it's almost got like 900,000 views on KHB, and it goes up. It's like the numbers blow my mind, and it's not about the numbers, but it's just crazy to just know that people actually love it and like care for it. So I'm so thankful. From Maria La Lupila Pia, I don't know. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. What is your motivation to write beautiful songs? Every time you make me emotional when I hear your voice. I'm sorry about that. Love you. Yeah, I don't even know. I feel like called, which may sound weird, but I feel like called to make music. When I got into it, I think I just wanted to be loved, and I wanted to be seen and be famous, so that I can be so that I could have a kind of reason to have like a title or something that made it easier for me to meet people and to connect with people, because I had all these walls built up and I was totally afraid of being vulnerable. But if I was famous, then I'd just kind of like be loved by default, I felt. So I worked so hard to like build this perfect story or whatever. And when I put Lonely out, I realized that was my motivation behind everything. I'd always obviously run away from it. I didn't want to believe it. But after Lonely, I've kind of done a lot of healing, and now as I'm continue to do it, it's not from that place, but it's just from a place of feeling it's like what I'm supposed to do. So that's, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm supposed to write music, so I've been doing it, and I've been praying that it's like been blessed, and it's crazy to see the reactions. So yeah, thank you for asking the questions. Thank you all so much. I hope I didn't bore y'all. I'm not really a talker. I'm much more of a listener, so this is definitely not normal for me, but I can't believe I made it through all these questions. I don't think it's possible. I love each and every one of you. I'm so thankful for this sport. It doesn't make any sense to me, and especially the people that actually went through and listened to this video. It's crazy. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much, and I hope you all just have an amazing night, day, whatever it is that you continue listening to music. Peace.